The man's face was blotched and unshaven. I guess he'd been traveling all night. Red-rimmed eyes stared fish-like above his broken nose. All I could see of the man's face was a massive purple bruise around his eye. It was a strange contrast with his flaming red hair, which stuck out in stiff, greasy tufts. Hi, having a party?
No, this is breakfast. Come on, join us, man. Away, Basha, wake up, man. What's company?
His breath was like the outlet from a chemical factory.
Excuse my mate, he's taking a nap. Sleeping like a bobby. I'll wake him up when we get to Newcastle.
We passed through Newcastle half an hour ago.
And I never noticed.
What is that stuff you're drinking? It smells like gasoline.
Right, I'll put hairs in your chest, like.
And your eyeballs, too, by the looks of you. Does the name Merlin mean anything to you?
Merlin? King Arthur's queen?
Forget it. Do you know what this is?
No, man, what is it?
It's a hand buzzer.
You won't catch me out with that, pal.
If I'd wanted to catch you out, I wouldn't have shown it to you, would I?
Well, maybe she's my pal. Like a clever double bluff, you know?
Would you like a red nose?
No thanks, pal. I got one of my own.
Have you ever seen anything like these before?
Yeah, those look right wicked.
It's not a weapon.
Well, no, but you have to be flexible, like.
Have you ever seen this man before?
Aye, man. He's chalky white, and I claim my 10 quid, like.
No, he's an international assassin, and he goes by the name Khan.
Well, aye, man, but I was close, you know.
See you later. I didn't want to wake him. To be frank, without a cold water hose, I didn't think I could wake him. The windows seemed to have been sprayed with tiny flecks of froth.
You haven't opened that window, pal.
Why not?
It's freezing out there.
Hey, buddy. See you later.
Leave it alone, man. Leave it alone, man.
I didn't want to wake him. To be frank, without a cold water hose, I didn't think I could wake him. I didn't want to wake him. To be It was the door to a sleeping compartment. The door was locked. It was the door to a sleeping compartment. The door was locked. Oh, no. That gangster creep from the hotel, Guido. Well, he didn't scare me. Hey, Buster. This is a no-smoking car. Okay, maybe he did scare me. It got worse. I suddenly realized who the conductor had reminded me of. Eklund, Marquet's murderer. Guido looked like a weasel in a cheap suit. He also looked like the kind of man who wouldn't lose much sleep over murder. I really didn't want to shoot the breeze with this guy. Guido was still looking pretty menacing. Guido was still looking pretty menacing. I should have known better than to leave Nico and the old lady alone. Suddenly, the sword of Baphomet took second place to finding the girl I loved. I had a feeling that was where Nico might have been taken. Where else could she be? The door was locked.
Leave it alone, man.
Hey, buddy. Listen, I need your help.
What's the matter?
There's a guy on this train who's trying to kill me.
Relax, man. You wouldn't try nothing with us in Basharia. We are veterans like, so action at Brightling Sea.
I don't recall the British Army being involved in a conflict in anywhere called Brightling Sea.
Well, you just take it from me, pal. You're in safe hands.
Did you see what happened to the young woman in the next compartment?
No, pal, I didn't. Have you lost her, like?
She's disappeared. The old lady, too. I think they're in trouble.
Oh, wait, man. An old lady, too?
Yeah. You gotta help me.
Maybe they went to the toilet, like.
I don't think so.
They never go on their own. Always in pairs, you know?
No, she's been abducted, I'm sure. I've got to go look for her.
What's stopping you, pal?
The conductor. He's not what he seems.
You want to avoid him, like?
That's about it, yeah.
No problem.
See you later.
Give it to it, pal. Don't jump.
I don't intend to jump. I'm going to climb on top of the train.
You're kidding, aren't you?
Just watch me.
Hold on there, pal. I'll give you a hand, like.
The door was locked. Hey, buddy. Listen, there's...
We have...
Have you...
I...
No.
Well,
Did you...
No.
She's...
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe...
I don't... No. I've...
What's
The con...
you want?
That's a...
No problem.
See you later.
Give it...
I don't... I'm going...
Yeah.
Jet.
Hold on there.
I knew killing came easily to Eklund. Let's talk this over like reasonable people, Eklund. I can explain everything.
Given to it, Paul.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Just.
Hold on now, Paul.
It was a sliding door in the side of the baggage car. The head of the axe glinted invitingly. I could hack Eklund into tiny pieces and feed him to the wolves. It was the signaling device which alerted the driver to make an emergency stop. The fine for improper use was 50 English pounds. I wondered if the authorities would consider this sufficient reason for stopping the train. I'd always wanted to stop a train, and now was my chance. You saved our lives, but why?
We were always on the same side, Stobart. Different causes, but a common enemy.
The Knights Templar?
Don't call them that. The real Templars were a noble foe. These barbarians have no right to that name. These men are no better than dogs.
What are the Neo-Templars after? What is the Sword of Baphomet?
Not what you think, my friend. It is a weapon, yes, but one which our enemies will find difficult to wield. A double-edged sword. A power older than Dimolay, older than Solomon.
We'll stop them. You and me together. And Nico.
No, George. My journey ends soon at the Garden of Paradise.
You're talking in riddles. Can't you tell me straight what they're after?
The sword symbolizes a colossal energy caused by the alignment of the Earth's natural power fields.
Which are focused at St. Ninian's.
The energy endowed the Templars with the power which made them great. A power which made them charismatic to such an extent they could control the will of all around them.
How did you escape from the Bull's Head?
It is a long walk from the cliff of the Bull to the village, Stobart. Fortunately, I know the ways of the wilderness. Also, I have a sister who keeps a garage just around the corner.
Maybe not.
May Allah guide you. to our enemies.
Thanks.
One last thing.
What? What is it? He's dead. The guy was a professional killer. The last thing he deserved was sympathy. I had to admit it, though. I was sorry he'd ended up this way. It was a fire extinguisher. Underneath that heap of tumbled crates was Eklund. I wasn't about to help him out. The head of the axe glinted invitingly. I could hack Eklund into tiny pieces and feed him to the wolves. I couldn't think of a single way the extinguisher would be of use in the absence of a fire.
Don't even think about it, Josh.
What? Who?
Look me straight in the eye and tell me you weren't thinking of using that axe on Eklund.
Don't be foolish, woman. I was going to use it on you.
Don't even think about it, Josh.
What? Who?
Look me straight in the eye and tell me you weren't thinking of using that axe on Eklund.
Don't be foolish, woman. I was going to use it on you. Underneath that heap of tumbled crates was Eklund. I wasn't about to help him out. The rear exit was barred and padlocked. The rear exit was barred and padlocked. It was the signaling device which alerted the driver to make an emergency stop. I'd already used the brake to bring the train to a halt.
Where do you think you're going?
Don't worry, I hadn't forgotten about you.
And tell me this instant, Josh Stobart.
I will, when I'm ready.
I was not there, Josh.
No.
You took advantage while my hands were tied.
When Eklund pointed that gun at me, I thought I was gonna die. I thought of all the things I'd never get to do, and kissing you was at the top of my list.
Josh,
Uh-huh.
Josh, we've got to get off the train. Eklund could recover at any time.
So what are we waiting for?
What are you doing?
I'm out of here.
Not that door. Do you want to end up like Flap?
Not especially. What remains of him is well on his way back to London. I hope he was traveling on a return ticket. I'd feel happier if we had a gun or something.
Khan gave me something.
What?
His handbag.
Oh, great. If we run into any killers, we can give them a good buffeting. Didn't he have any weapons?
You don't know the half of it. This bag's full of C4.
Wow. Why didn't you say so? Boy, we'll show him now. What's C4?
Plastic, Josh.
We're going to shop our way to victory?
2 kilos of plastic explosive. The detonator's broken now.
No problem. We'll buy a box of matches somewhere.
It doesn't work that way. It takes a small explosion to start the big explosion.
Well, that's not much use then. What does that sign say?
Apparently, during the English Civil War in the mid-17th century, this place was used as an arms dump.
Yeah? What happened?
Look at the state of this place, Josh. You work it out.
Oh, stray spark?
You got it. The tower was the only thing to survive the blast.
I hope the explosion didn't destroy the Sword of Baphomet.
Do you? I rather hope it did.
She was as beautiful as ever, but the shadows beneath her eyes marked the strain of the last few days. Nico?
Uh-huh.
What should I do with this ticket?
Throw it away next time we pass a waste bin.
I thought I'd keep it as a souvenir. No. It was just about recognizable as the church I'd seen reflected in the chalice. Templars, Roundheads, and Cavaliers. This place has seen a lot of history. A large arch led into the tower. The wheel had a serrated edge which meshed with the turning cog. Marks on the spindle behind the wheel suggested it once had a rope attached to it. The stone face of the demon grinned with a horribly lifelike expression. It was so realistic, I could imagine the sculptor carving it from a live model. She was as beautiful as ever, but the shadows beneath her eyes marked the strain of the last few days. Above the carved cross was an indecipherable inscription. For all I knew, it could have been scribed in Gaelic. I tried pushing the panel, but wasn't surprised when it failed to move. Examining the demon more closely, I realized something about its face. It was a clever illusion. No matter where I stood, the eyes weren't looking at me. There was a simple reason. The demon didn't have any eyes. Sometimes the most childish gestures can have a cathartic effect. The transformation of the demon to a clown did just that for me. The wheel turned reluctantly with a creak of complaint. There was no obvious way of removing the wheel from its housing. The handle turned easily, and the larger wheel began to revolve. Damn! Then the handle came off in my hand. Nico?
Uh-huh.
Maybe not. There was no way of reconnecting the handle to the cog except by welding it. It was a heap of stones and stuff which had tumbled down from the rafters. I scrabbled around in the rubble and found an old clay pipe with a broken stem. The pipe could have been anything from 50 to several hundred years old. Nico?
Uh-huh.
Nico, I found an old clay pipe.
Josh, I don't care.
With the clay pipe in his mouth, he looked happy, homely, like somebody's granddaddy.
What do you think you're doing, Josh?
I wondered if there was a secret mechanism in the demon's mouth.
Maybe you should show a little more respect.
For a mythical medieval demon? Give me a break.
Okay, go right ahead. Meddle with forces you don't understand. Incur the demon's wrath and burn in hell. Just see if I care.
Under one of the stones, I found a metal coin which was green with age. It was caked with soil, but what I'd found was a small cog and spindle. With mounting excitement, I felt something between my fingers. It was short, hard, and black, something I hadn't expected to find here. It was a plastic pentop. I didn't find anything. Nico,
Uh-huh.
look what I found buried in the rubble.
It's a plastic pen top.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Finding something so mundane in a place like this.
Astounding. Let me know if you found any paper clips.
Nico,
Uh-huh.
look, I found an old coin. You think it's worth anything?
Josh, focus on the situation at hand, please.
Any suggestions what I could do with this cog?
Well,
What are you doing?
committing this inscription to memory.
Can you read it?
No,
What's the point of studying the inscription if you can't read it?
because it could be important. A clue to whatever we're looking for, who knows? I might find someone installing to translate it.
We don't have time to go looking for a linguist.
No? At least I am doing something positive.
What language is that inscription written in?
You're the languages student, you tell me.
It looks like ancient Norse. Maybe.
Perhaps it's in code.
I don't think so.
Norse code.
It was a black plastic pen top. That is not a good idea. It was an old coin. The cog was one of those objects I wished I hadn't carried in my pocket. The cog slipped neatly into the eye socket. With the clay pipe in his mouth, he looked happy, homely, like somebody's granddaddy.
What do you think you're doing, Josh?
I wondered if there was a secret mechanism in the demon's mouth.
Maybe you should show a little more respect.
For a mythical
Okay. Incur. Just see if I care.
I tried pushing the panel, but wasn't surprised when it failed to move. The cog turned freely, but nothing happened. Now that the handle was gone, it was easy to remove the cog and spindle. With a rasp of metal on stone, I eased the second eye into place. I pushed the handle into the demon's mouth. The cogs all meshed. I began to turn. Nico?
Uh-huh.
As soon as I saw the flickering torches, I realized the bogus Templars had beaten us to the sword. But where were they now? And why was it so quiet? The torch burned with a sickly dim glow and a stench like fire and brimstone.
No, Georges!
What?
Leave the torch right where it is, in case you haven't noticed the kit is full of gunpowder.
So what? Don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust.
No? You think I'm a jerk, don't you?
Don't be silly, Georges. And keep your voice down. I thought I heard something. Like chanting. Listen, I can definitely hear chanting.
You're right. I hear it too. What do you suppose they're doing?
It wouldn't surprise me if they were holding some kind of satanic sex ritual.
So, what are we waiting for? Shh! Will you look at that? Baphomet. Lovino was right. This place was ancient even to the Templars.
This whole place? This is Baphomet?
Finally, the truth. The Templars had never worshipped this graven image, no more than they'd worship a rainbow. But, like a rainbow, they regarded it as a symbol of a covenant with God, who'd revealed this place to them.
Rosso! Why is the double dealing treacherous?
On the contrary, Inspector Rosso has been the model of obedience, an important quality in a true Templar. Now be quiet and watch if you wish to live much longer.
Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here to witness the reforging of the sword that was broken. Here before God's sentinel, Baphomet. Master and Knight of Baphomet, we salute and pledge our obedience to you.
I salute you, gatekeeper of the temple. Seven centuries ago, our greatest weapon, the sword of Baphomet, was lost to us. Now we prepare to reforge it, to wield against new enemies. As the tired millennium dies, and this world looks for new leaders, we shall not fail. We shall lead the people to a new order, wherein all borders will dissolve. All will be united under the red cross of the Templars. George, we have watched your efforts to stop us with respect. But surely you realize that you have been misled by our enemies. Both of us want a better world. Fortunately, no harm has been done. We need determined, resourceful men like you. Join us, George. Join us in true brotherhood.
Yeah. True. Wait. Brothers? What about Marquet? What about Pegram and Klausner? You didn't look on them as brothers, only as failures. 3 men dead, and you don't give a damn!
George, you know that sacrifices are necessary. Every great undertaking.
Join you? I'll see you in hell first.
George, I had great hopes for you. C'est la guerre et l'on kill him. Take them. Kill them. They will not escape.
Well, well. If it isn't the great detective and his beautiful assistant, it's going to be a pleasure killing the pair of you.
George, what are we going to do?
Come on, Nico. We're leaving.
You fools! You cannot escape us. Guido! Stop them.
But master, the powder!
That powder is from the English Civil War. You fools! He's over 300 years old. How explosive do you think it can be?
I thought it was all over, but Nico had one last trick up her sleeve. Or in her handbag, to be exact. A handbag full of plastic explosives.
Maybe, but this stuff is brand new.
Oh,
You know, you'll never be able to write your story now.
I don't care. I've got what I want.
Huh?
Just tell me one thing, George. Is our life together always going to be this crazy?
Hello again.
What now?
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
No more than you, I'll bet.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
Aha! Is it real? It must be worth a small fortune. You stole it, I suppose.
I'm not a crook. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
I've got a toilet chain from a bar in Syria.
No, Kitty. A toilet chain? From Syria? You sad man.
What now, monsieur?
Check out my ID card.
Your ID card, monsieur? I don't think so.
No, it's Rosso's card.
Attempting to impersonate a policeman is a criminal offense, monsieur.
Ah, forget it. Thanks for your help, buddy. Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Does the name on this card mean anything to you?
Augustin Rosso? No, dear, nothing. It conjures up the image of a Gaulois-smoking, absinthe-drinking French policeman. I'm sure the real Inspector Rosso is nowhere near so romantic.
I think you'd be surprised.